Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working again on the 348. I'm going to switch from the engine bay area. Yesterday I took the car out for a lovely drive. It performed perfectly, but there's a list and a growing list of just little issues that I want to sort out with the car, such as wipers not working, just simple things like the wheels need to be changed over. So I'm going to spend the day rectifying all of those little problems and making the car great again. A couple of detailed jobs on the 348 today. First of all, you might have noticed in one of the videos, one of my fog lights was French with a yellow background. Bit of a weird one, don't know why. I would imagine that Ferrari don't make these anymore, or you can't get hold of them, you can't buy these fog lights for a 348. Bit of a problem. So I suspect that they damaged one. There was a few of these French ones in stock at Superformance not long ago. Again, they've been depleted now. So I suspect that they damaged their Euro one, and this was the only option. So we've got to replace with that. Now, obviously having one yellow one and one clear UK Euro one doesn't look right, does it? So I did manage to get a broken one. So it had a broken glass, and the lugs on the side there, you can see, were snapped off. But the inside is the clear Euro. Now, the lens itself is clear on the yellow one. It's only this inner bit and the top half that has this yellow coating. Now, Euro one, as you can see, doesn't. So what I've done, being the genius I am, I have stripped the insides out from the French one. There was a couple of little lugs here and here and here that had also snapped. Luckily, they just screw on. So now I'm just putting back together this clear one, and then I've got to slot it in place into my Euro lens. Now you can buy the glass, that was the other option, but I thought, well, I've already got a genuine glass here, so why not use it? There you go, job done. One good one, one used one. I'll keep that though, quite like the yellow personally. Let's do a quick test before we bolt it all back together and make sure all the bulbs work. The next job today we are going to do is change over these back to front rear wheels. Let's put them on the right side, make sure they face the right way. As I've said before, we're cool because the tyres are not directional, so we can switch them over. While we have the wheel off on the car, let's just fit our wheel arch, our trim there, wheel arch. And it's all finished, so put that back in place. Then I can start working on the other side, do the same over there. Okay, so that is the arch back in place, no longer caked in mud and grease, looking much cleaner. Next job is the window. We need to figure out why that window is not shutting. I've not checked this out, but if the 348 is anything like the 355, it's been a while since I've done a window. You have to access it by removing the air scoop, or the slats in the case of the 348. So I'm going to take this off. You need to take the bolts out. There's some underneath, so you can't actually do this without being able to open the door. I will just take a look at the connections. I've checked all the fuses. There's nothing wrong with those, so hoping it's just a loose connection on the motor. I've actually found the cause. It wasn't anything to do with motors, it was just this connector in the door jamb here that wasn't hooked up. So that's on now. If we give the car a bit of juice, we can see it works. However, it's extremely slow. So what we're going to do, while I've got one more nut to undo down here, then that side strike will come off. So I'm going to just lubricate all of this window mechanism, see if we can make it any quicker than that. Okay, that's now removed. I was correct, it's all accessed from the outside here. So to remove it, it's 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 go in here to the inside of the door, and that's this one here and that one there. So what are we going to do next is we're just going to, I've wound the window right up, that's okay now. I actually needed to assist it and pull it up while I held the button, so that went up nicely, but very, very slow. So what we're going to do, Ferrari suffer with this, especially anything kind of 355, 308, 328, Ratarossa, they all suffer with slow windows, especially when they start getting old like this. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to clean up all these channels. That's got some really thick old grease in it. I'm going to clean those up, and then we're just going to simply re-grease them and see if that makes any difference. It's better to just do this, I think. I was trying to do it with a screwdriver, especially this big channel here. I'm just going to do it by hand, and it allows me to reach right up. That's the bottom of the window right now. Just grease up that channel. We'll do the same with the back. And then finally is the motor. It's all driven here. This really gets gummed up as well. So I'm going to start lubricating this. Move the window up and down gradually and just keep lubricating all of that system there. What we've done is we have greased here, so a motor in the middle, here, here, and also up the top up there, along with the 2 channels either side, and that has made it much better. So we're on a bit of a roll with the 348 today. We've switched over that fog light, changed it from yellow to the clear Euro spec to match the other side. We have fixed the window and cleaned it up, lubricated it, improved it. We've changed over the wheels that needed doing at the rear and put the archway back in. So the car's going to get a bit of a treat today. It's going to get washed. So the 348 is lovely and clean again. I'm just going to go and take it out for a quick drive before I put it away in the garage. Then I've just remembered 2 more jobs I need to do. Horn is not working, it stopped working, and so have the windscreen wipers. So I need to look into those and get them fixed. She even looks good on my security camera, look. Gleaming. Another thing I love about this TS or GTS is plenty of room to put that Targa top panel behind the seats. So especially in the UK, if you get caught short with a rainstorm, it's there, it's easy, and it's very quick to put on. So we've just taken the car out for a spin. Drives beautifully, it's cleaned up lovely. A few more jobs to do today. First one, lost its voice. Second one, mirrors were working, but they just blow a fuse. And exactly the same with my wipers, working but just blow a fuse. So possibly an earthing problem, and who knows with the horn. But let's go and investigate. First problem with the horn is quite easily rectified. That was not connected, this pipe, so it's now got its voice back. Next issue is why things keep blowing, and I'm just going to go around the car and check all the earth points, just reseat them, put some contact cleaner. They look pretty dirty on the car, so I'm just going to clean them all up. Okay, so a quick update on the wiper situation and the mirror situation. I've managed to resolve the wipers. What have I done? I've got into the passenger footwell down here, completely removed the fuse board, taken all the connectors off, cleaned everything up with some contact cleaner. That didn't actually resolve the problem. I've also done all the earth points down there and in the front trunk. Again, didn't make any difference. So I looked a bit further into it, and both of those, the wipers and the mirrors that I was having problems with, they run on the same circuit. They're blowing the same fuse, so they're coming from the same fuse. So had a look at it, discovered that if I disconnect the mirror switch from the driver's door, the wipers work totally fine. So I'm going to have a little bit more of a deep dive. I need to get a wiring diagram and find out where it goes. I probably need to take off the door card on the driver's door and just have a look at the wiring, just make sure there's nothing wrong there. But basically, at the moment, wipers are okay. I can live without electric mirrors for the time being, and then, like I say, I'll get a diagram and do a bit more of a deep dive into that later. Only problem I have now introduced is my AC panel is dead. It's quite a common problem on 348, so I'm going to start to have a look and diagnose that now. So wipers working, mirrors are not, and I've given myself a new problem to find. So let's take a look into that. And this is what's happened. So my AC panel is completely dead. Let's give the car some light. I'll show you everything else works here. So lights, things like these all work no problem. It's literally this lower panel completely dead. Okay, now this is a common problem on 348s, 355s. I did a separate video actually on a 355, which is also relevant for 348, all about this. It's all about the 30 amp hidden fuse, as they call it. Okay, so again, fuse board down there, haven't got much light, but I have been at that, so I will have a look at that. Like I say, I took that out to try and figure out what was going on with these wipers. So we're going to have a look at that, but first of all we're going to look at the most obvious one, which is the hidden fuse. Now, the fuse for this is not actually down there. I'll show you where it is. So for a 348, 355, to find the 30 amp fuse, you have to look in the front trunk area here, and you have to remove this carpet. And your fuse is down here. Now, I've been at these already. I've checked them all, and I can tell you all my fuses are intact. So it's not that on this car. So I'm going to go to the next area that's quite common for the HVAC system. As I said, I introduced this problem when I was fiddling around with the fuse board, taking the fuse board out. So next, I've just removed a couple of screws. I'm going to remove the carpet panel on the side there. I'm just going to check all the connectors on the back of the AC panel. So I've removed the complete HVAC control panel from the car. Here it is here. The rest of the panels there. So I'm going to have a quick look inside this, because these commonly go wrong. So this is our HVAC control unit from in the car. I'm going to open it up and take a look inside. There's 4 screws from what I can see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just take those off, see what's in there. Cover off. Just looking at these pins here, they're pretty caked up, so we're going to clean those. Then, if you lift the board very carefully, it comes off from these pins, which sit in here. There's 2 boards. Apparently these sometimes come apart like that, so the connector's not good, but this seemed fine. So it's just those top pins that I'm going to have a quick look at. So I've got the board split at the moment. I'm going to have a look at this circuit board, so I'm going to remove the 4 screws. Okay, so I've removed the 4 screws, and I'm just very carefully removing that. We have a quick closer look at that in a second. Finally, I'm going to move this screw and have a look at the lower board as well. Just check all the joints. So that's the bottom one out. That is our display and our little reset buttons there as well. Now, One of the reasons I took this out was my reset buttons weren't very good on this. They didn't seem to hit very well. So I'm gonna have a quick look, clean up, put it back together. I'm going to spend the next 20 or 30 minutes just putting everything back together, making it look all pretty. So I'll wrap this episode up for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've actually learned something today, at least how that HVAC system comes together. We'll put all this back in, like I say. And join me again in the next one when I do a few more jobs on this car. Thanks guys, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Ciao for now.